What's up, guys? I'm Spawnlight13. Today I'm going to be showing you how to create a very basic web browser in your Visual Studio, whatever year it may be. I would go at least 2010, which is the one I'm using, although it is now like January 23rd or something. January 23rd, 2014. Even though it's already January of 2014, I'm still using the 2010 version because, yeah, the features are nice. I like the setup. It's not too basic, not too advanced either. It's a nice setup. So I would suggest 2010. I'm gonna put the download link to 2010 in the description if I can find it. Hopefully I can. So I'm gonna boot that up real quick. All right. So here we go. Crud, shouldn't have closed that. But anyways, what we are going to do here now, I've just closed that. Go into File, let's go over to New Project. Windows Form Application. Alright, File, I'm just going to go back in there just to make sure you see that. So, installed templates, Windows Form Application. I'm pretty sure it will only work with this, so... Alright, so here we go. We got our form. However, there's no way of editing it. Oh no, well, guess what? If we go into View, and we go over to Toolbox, we have a lot of nifty little gadgets and such to work with. Very neat. So, because this is going to be a web browser, why don't we start it off like that? So, let's go over and input a web browser. Now, Can I make that smaller? Oh, right. Alright, so now what you're going to want to do is make sure you've clicked on the web browser, and there should be a little arrow here in the top right corner of, no matter what size your web browser is, and click on Undock in Parent Container. That way we can now move it around. Move it around and such. So I'm going to make it about yay big because we're going to need some room up here for our address bar, and stuff like that. So yeah, so let's make this a weird sort of browser, right? So let's go over, and we'll make the bottom portion where the address bar and everything's gonna be. It's gonna look a little bit weird, but why not? So let's just save this very quickly. Solution name, let's just leave it at that. Name, let's just call it YouTube YouTube test. Alright, I'm just gonna save that. Alright, so now here we go. We got everything saved and whatnot. So if we start it up, yeah, it doesn't exactly do anything right now. Alright, so let's click on our web browser, and we're going to set the default URL. Now, whatever URL you put in, you make sure it's a correct URL, otherwise it's not going to work. Now, the URL, I'm just going to set it, in this case, to google.com. And it will correct you with the specific one. Just make sure you get it around around the basic URL. Anyways, so let's save all. Let's run it. And hey, look, it took us to Google. Now, there is a little problem here. Don't worry, we can fix that. And there will be a lot of glitchy stuff with resizing, with buttons, and including this browser like you just saw. So let's start off and let's go and fix that. So now you're gonna need to mess with this a bit because I'm still trying to figure out completely how to use it. So Anchor, in this case for the browser, make sure that all of them are on. That way, no matter how you resize it, it's all it'll resize it accordingly. So see, we maximized it. Everything's maximized now. Yay! Very cool. Now, of course, normally you're probably not going to want to allow people to make it this small, but don't worry, we can fix that. We can put a minimum. I'm not going to do it, but you can you can put a minimum and a maximum size. Maximum size, they have, yes, it's default. You can set it to any size. Minimum size, it's got to be 2020, which is basically that. Yeah, it's kind of pathetic. Alright, so let's get started on the address bar. So what we're going to want to go over and do is go into Toolbox and go into Text Box. Alright, so now just make an address bar that you think would be, you know, pretty acceptable. Let's go over and I'm just going to change this a little bit. And I am going to... you know what, that's pretty good. Alright, so here we go. We got an address bar here, so let's just call it... let's just call it address for the time being. Alright. So now, unfortunately, I've not figured out a way. If I can figure out a way, I will be sure to put the solution in the description below or make a video on it. But unfortunately, notice how let me go open Chrome real quick. Notice how when you're typing in a URL, so in this case, YouTube, why not? You just click enter. Alright, so once you finish it, you just click enter and it takes you to that URL. Unfortunately, I've not figured out how to do that as of yet, so what you have to do is go over in here. You're going to want to go click on button, and let's just make it about that. And we are going to put the text as go. Alright, now we are going to have to do a little bit of programming, nothing too advanced, but you're going to want to double click on that button to take you into the form coding. Alright, you can do this for anything if you want to quickly get to, so say you have like 50 buttons, you want to get to the code that, when you click that button, it will do whatever. If you want to go to that button's code specifically, so that when you click it, it does something, you want to write that code, just double click on the button and it will take you here. So it automatically created a private sub, or so notice button 1 underscore click. As a lot of these things, don't mess with that, otherwise it will not work very well. Now you can go over here. I thought this was super cool. I do not remember this in one of the older versions of Visual Studio that I had. You can actually go over here. So you notice that button 1, that's the button we're editing, and click. Now you can set it so that when you drag enter, it does something. When you click, it does something. In this case, that's what we're doing. Double click, dock change, dispose, a bunch of really cool things. I don't know what all of them are, but I just thought that was really really neat. But just for the sake of this tutorial, we're just going to leave it on click. Alright, and we are going, let's find out what the browser is named. Web browser 1. Well, we're going to switch that to browser, just to make it easy on ourselves. So let's call that browser. So now we're going to, and now what's cool about this, it has some helpful tips, I guess, on what you can do. So we type in browser, and then we type in dot. We type in dot. Oh, okay. Sorry. Apparently my computer is being very slow. Dot, and we are going to. I do not even remember what it is. Hold on. Yeah, see, here we got go search, go home, forward, back, hide, navigate. Here we go. Dot navigate. We're gonna put quotation, sorry, not quotation marks, parentheses. And then we're gonna put ADDRESS. So we're gonna put the text box name, the address bar name, and then dot text, text. Alright, there we go. So now once you click the button, it will navigate to address.txt. So let's go ahead and save that, and let's run it and let's see if it works. So let's go over to youtube.com. We're going to click the go button, and here we go. It navigated us to YouTube. So unfortunately, the text box and button do not resize with the like the browser does. So notice, you know, how the text box and button are sort of going onto the browser. Yeah, it's a little bit glitchy. We can fix that though by using Anchor. So let's go over real quick. Let's go over to that. And now, based on where it is on the screen, we're gonna choose Anchor. So not top left. Let's try just bottom. Let's see if that works. So save, and you can mess with this all you want, but let's see. There we go. It's stationed in the exact same place. Now, of course, there's the left and right thing, which you know, you may have to go in and fix that a little bit. So, you know, for the sake of the video, let's go over here. Let's do this. Let's switch the button, or sorry, not the button, the text box. Let's go over to Anchor, and let's just anchor that to the bottom left. Oh, whoops. Alright, so let's save, let's run. Now I did do the text box correctly, which is nice, so... Oh. Darn, accidentally did that. So, notice how it's stationed in the bottom left corner. It will not move under any circumstances. I never said it couldn't be, you know, couldn't get smaller, but that's just because we haven't set the minimum size, which you are able to do for the entire form. So now, you know, up here it says form 1, like I said about the button. You can just go over here and text, yeah, I don't know, just Phantom, why not just the Phantom web browser, just because this is Phantom Gaming and this is a web browser test. So, save, run. Look, there we go. And don't worry, once you, you know, I'll get into actually creating the application out of this later on in the video. It's not that big of a deal right now. What is just getting this all set up. So I'm not gonna worry about Anchor too much right now. So let's go over, and I'm just gonna save that real quick. Toolbox. Oh, there we go. Alright, so let's think of something else we can do. Again, I'm not going to go into too much detail, so let's say a forward and back button. Pretty basic. So let's create 2 new buttons. So we're going to put B for backward, or you know what, even better. Let's do that. Oops, sorry. That. For that, we'll do that. We'll just call this forward. We'll call this one backward. Alright, so now we have a forward backward button. Let's go over real quick and let's anchor them both to the bottom. It's not a very good anchor, but it'll work for the purposes of this video. You know what? Even better, let's go with this. Let's go up here. Alright, and let's just move them in the bottom left sort of portion here. Let's move it. I'm going to move that a little bit downward. So let's save that. Let's go into forward. And now we're going to do forward. So when it's clicked, we're going to do forward dot go. Oh, whoops. Maybe it's got to be capital. No. Let's see if we can find it here real quick. Oh, der. Sorry, I'm not thinking completely clearly. We are wanting to edit browser. We're wanting to do something with the browser, so we're going to do browser dot go forward. All right. Make sure you got a nice little parentheses set up there. Now we're going to do basically the almost the exact same thing with the back button, except we're going to put back instead of forward. Alright, so let's test this thing out. So let's go over to YouTube. Then let's go to Bing. Then one more. Why not, yeah, I can't think of anything, so I'm just gonna leave it at Bing. You know what? Yahoo.com. Alright, so now we've been a couple places, so let's go back. You know, oh no, I want to go to Bing instead. Let's go forward. Alright, so it looks as if we have a small amount of editing to do on the forward button. Oh, no we don't. I guess that was just a glitch with I don't know. That's a little bit weird. Anyways, the forward and back button do work now, so that's very good. See, I don't want to go into too much detail here. Let's create. I'll do about 2 more things. Why not? So let's call this. Let's name this home. Click enter. There we go. Changes. So we're gonna do about 2 to 3 more things, I believe. All right. So we're just gonna call this home. Or yeah, not homepage. Alright, so what happens when you click home? Now, because we have set the browser URL over here, the default one to Google, that will be the home page. Now, you can go in and you can set so that you can, I may show you later, may not. I don't know. But you are able to change these properties from a button and a text box, which I will show you after I show you the home page. So let's go browser dot go home. Go home browser. And automatically create the parentheses just in case you didn't, but it's always smart to just do that just in case. Let's go to Bing. Alright, forgot I can't click enter. Let's go to Yahoo. Then let's go back to Google by clicking home. There we go, now we're on the home page. Hey look, I want to go over to YouTube. And now let's go back to Google. Alright, so the home button does work. I mean, this is very basic code. Of course, you can complicate it if you know the code. But you know, even if you don't know, you can ask me a couple questions. I can look at a couple things up if I don't already know them. I have been working on a browser myself. I believe, I mean, it's going very well. So if you have any questions about this, please just let me know, and I will see what I can do. We are going to do a couple more things real quick, then I'm just going to end the video, because, yeah, so let's go over and let's create a refresh button. just call that refresh. Refresh. Alright, so now let's double click on that. Now we're just going to do browser dot refresh. Now we're going to save that. We're going to run it. I'm going to type something in on Google. Refresh. See? There we go. There we got it. Oh, right. It's all up here. Refresh button. Yay. Alright, so here we go. Oh, and I would like to let you guys know real quick, you cannot edit the code until you stop. So let me just show you an example. There are some things that you can't even edit on here until you stop debugging, because that's basically what you're doing when testing this. So you're just gonna want to make sure that you close it each time. And even if you have the slightest error, like a misspelling or something, it will show up here and it will not let you run it. It will, if you try to run it, it will ask you if you do or do not want to run the last successful one, but it won't let you run this one because there could be recursion, a never-ending loop, or something that may just have Visual Basic breakdown. Alright, so we're not going to go into too much more detail. Let's do this though. So I'm going to show you how you can edit certain properties by using buttons and a text box. So, I'm just going to shrink this real quick. Alright, so what do we want to change? How about this? Alright, so let's switch, let's set it up so that when you enter something in a text box and click a button, that it sets the name of, or not the name, but the text, because there is a difference, the text of say, refresh. Alright, so let's create a new text box and button. Now, this probably isn't something you would actually want to have on a, on a web browser, but I'm just sort of showing you it as an example. Let's put that just about there. We're just going to put the text as enter. Now, it's always a smart idea, although they can't see it, just for your benefit, to put an actual name. So we're just going to call that enter, just so that you can find it very quickly, or easier, anyways. Next time you need to use it. So let's click enter. Sorry if you hear any background noise. I'm using Turtle Beach, so it may be a little bit sensitive, and we got a lot of background noise coming in the back. So, so now text box. All right, so let's go name. What are we gonna set for name? Let's just set name. Whoops, kind of misspelled that. Set name. So let's set that to set name, and now you can set the text of. Let me just go down here real quick. Now you can set the text of text boxes. I wouldn't suggest it because it does put it as actual characters, not those like backgroundy sort of grayed out kind of thing. So I would not put any text in text boxes unless you're absolutely sure what you're doing. Oh, whoops, accidentally clicked that. So what have we called the text box? We've called it set name, and we've called this enter. So now let's set the text of refresh. Okay, so let's go into enter. So refresh dot text equals. Alright, so now refresh.text equals, what do we call this again? Set name. Name.text. Alright. There we go, and let's save it. Let's run this. Let's see if it works. So let's set the new name of refresh to Google, and enter. There we go. Yeah, now there wasn't enough space in the button, so it only put in Google. So let's do, why not just some random stuff. Now it will only go as far as it can. You know, it'll only go as far into it as you know, based on how big the button is. You know, width, length. Um, it will, you know, if the button width is bigger than the actual amount of characters, it will auto center it, which is nice. As you can see, it just auto centers it. I just thought that was a really neat sort of automatic thing that they do. Now there is one more quick thing I want to show you, because this can really make you mad. So let me show you an example. Let me go over to Google Chrome very quickly. Just want to make sure. What on earth? Okay, that was weird. Anyway, so, you know, you go over to YouTube. You notice how it doesn't put, well, you notice how it doesn't put the exact same thing that, I mean, in this case it did, but, sorry, that probably wasn't a very good example, but, anyways, normally on web browsers, if you go over to google.com, for example, you notice it adds some stuff, or just completely changes the web, or the URL, or, you know, it's just something crazy. So you want to go to the google.com homepage, and you know, it may I really want to find an example, because this is a very big pain to try to tell you guys. You know, so you want to go over here. Yeah, you do not want to enter that. But, you know, I can't even, I don't even know how to explain it to you guys, but basically, you know, in the case of this web browser, basically it will only, here, you know, if you go to a new page or something, then, you know, it's going to say, like, whatever, it's not going to switch the URL based on what the actual one is. There we go, that's a good idea. So, notice how on Bing.com, you know, we search something up, so let's go, you know, just type in Target. Now we want to, you know, say for whatever reason you want to copy that, and you know, you're going to want to paste that in later, or maybe specific, you know, just whatever. So, you know, but when you go to over to, but you know, you don't want to type that in. You notice how it automatically, when I go from Bing, from regular Bing, and I just type something into the search bar, you notice how the URL auto changes. So if I go over, so say I go from Bing to YouTube by using Bing's search engine. So I click on YouTube, and it auto switches to YouTube. In our web browser's case, it will not automatically do that. It will just leave it to whatever the last thing was that you set it to. So a neat way to fix that is, let's go over into the Go button. So after it does navigate, now this can be a major pain to set up, because it took me a while. It did some glitchy stuff. It did some very weird bugs and stuff like that. But the code to switch the URL to what the browser's actual URL is address. So the name of our address bar dot text. And let's put in, here is equal to browser dot URL. Alright, so now if we put that, valid of type system cannot be converted. Sorry about that. Let me just fix that. I believe you just need a. Well, you know what? I did it on mine. I don't exactly remember how, but I'll put the thing in the description below. Dang it! I really wish that would work, because that would have been very cool to show you. But well, you know what? I'll put that in the description below, the actual code. So yeah, this is basically all I can really show you in this video, because I've made this video way too long as it is. Yeah, like super long. So yeah, see if it has errors, it just runs the last successful build. So that kind of sucks that that's like that. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any comments, comments, questions, concerns, anything like that at all, please, ask them in the comment section below. And right now, real quick, at the last couple of seconds of the, or last like minute or two of this video, I'm going to show you how to make this an actual application. So let's go over into debug, or sorry, not debug, build. Now, if you do not have build, you can, I forget where it is. Oh, here. If you do not have build on this list here, there is a way to set up so that you can see that by going into tools, settings, and then expert settings. Now just go over to build, and you're gonna want to go into publish YouTube, or in this case it's YouTube test. Depends on what your name on the name of the application is. Alright, so you're going to want to specify what location on your computer you want to upload the original one to. So I'm just going to do that. So now, how will people install your application, in this case your web browser, from a UNC, I'm not even going to go into detail on what that is, from a website that's a little bit self-explanatory, or from a CD that you can burn the software to. This application will check for updates or will not check for updates in the following location. Don't worry about that. Basically, when I may or may not talk about this later on. Alright. So, yeah, you can do all that. There is something here I would really like to show you. I do not completely remember how to, though. Yeah, unfortunately, I have no idea. But basically, one thing that happens is, nope. Let's go over into build. Let's actually choose a location. Let's go to desktop from a CD-ROM. Let's actually do it from a CD-ROM. The application will not check for updates. The application will be published to when this application is installed. A shortcut will be added to the start menu, and the application can be uninstalled via the add or remove programs. And for whatever reason, it is not letting me publish it. Hopefully it will not do that for you guys. I'm not too sure what. Probably because we would have to build it first. So, and of course we can't. Oh, sorry. That's why it's not letting us. It's not letting us build it because we have errors. So let's go over into build. Build started, build succeeded. Good. So it did let us build it. So now if we go into publish, just quickly publish this. Build started, publishing build. Publish succeeded. Just minimize that. And now I have all of the files right here. Yay! So there's the setup, so that once we click the setup, it actually it just starts the application. So verifying application requirements. This may take a few moments. It'll only take a long time on the first one. Yeah, we're just gonna install that. Look at that. And here we go. Here's our web browser that we had. Yeah, of course. Like, yeah, we never really did finish it, but you know, still has all the yeah, I really wish I knew where it was, but there is a way where you can go into application settings, and you can edit what kind of icon it's going to be, whether it's going to be default or whatever. But unfortunately, I have no idea where that would be. I'm very sorry about that, because that's something I did want to show you guys. Oh, here we go. Alright, so if you go into Solution Explorer on the right here, and you go on and just double click on My Project, here it is. Here's a lot of the settings and whatnot before publishing it. Yeah, we already published it, but I mean, you can always publish it again. It's not that big of a deal. Just make sure you know which one's which. Yeah, that's not something I'm gonna explain. Default. Alright, so you can set what kind of icon it is. In this case, it's the default one, so it's this kind of stupid looking one. It did automatically, or normally anyways, it automatically adds to the start menu or whatever. And oh wait, no, unfortunately it's not here, but we can go in here, so we can edit the default icon, the assembly name, what it's gonna actually say, what the application is actually going to be called. Leave that. All these others you can sort of edit yourselves. But yeah, then there's publish, and there's all this. So yeah, guys, thanks for watching. This has been a very, 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 very long tutorial, but hopefully it helped you guys out. So any comments, questions, concerns, please post in the comment section below, or private message me on Xbox, Steam, or YouTube. So yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Peace.